Sometimes staying isn't loyalty, it isn't faithfulness, it isn't strength. Sometimes it's just staying. And if an environment is destroying your health, draining your joy, or forcing you to compromise your values, don't get extra point for enduring it forever. You have a responsibility to live well. Today, I want to show you how to walk away without bitterness, without burning bridges, but with your head high. There is a powerful moment in history that illustrates this. Frederick Douglass was once sent to a so-called slave breaker named Edward Covey. Covey's assignment was simple: crush his spirit, break his confidence, break his identity, break the man. But something happened. Douglass realized his soul was worth more than his situation. And at the defining moment, he resisted. He stood his ground. And eventually, he made his exit. He later said, "You have seen how a man was made a slave. You shall see how a slave was made a man." Sometimes, living is not weakness. Sometimes, living is the most courageous act of leadership you will ever perform. Many years ago, I was working under a leader who was incredibly difficult. Every day felt heavy. The environment was tense. I felt stuck. I remember driving home one evening thinking, I need to get out of here. But how? Was I quitting too soon? Was I being emotional? Was I lacking resilience? I was confused. Thankfully, during that season, I had a mentor, someone older and wiser, who sat me down and said something that changed how I think about exit decisions forever. He told me, living is not emotional. Living is strategic. But you never leave empty-handed. He taught me principles. I've shared them in coaching rooms since then and over time, and I summarized them in a way that is easy to remember. Before I give you that framework, let's ground this in something deeper. 1 Corinthians 6:19 says, "Your body is a temple." That is not spiritual poetry. Practically, it means this. If a workplace is making you physically sick, emotionally unstable, constantly anxious, or damaging your family, you are neglecting the most important leadership assignment you have. Number 1, your health. Number 2, your home. Number 3, your character. There is also a moment in Matthew 10:14 where Jesus tells his disciples, "If they don't receive you, shake the dust off your feet." That wasn't about quitting when things are hard. It's about recognizing when your presence is no longer productive. Practically speaking, don't stay where you are merely tolerated. Go where your contribution is valued. Discernment is not disloyalty. So, here is the framework my mentor helped me shape and what I now teach. When it's time to exit, remember S.E.E.D. S-E-E-D. You never just leave, you plant. So, let us walk through the S.E.E.D principle. S is for steward. Steward your heart. Your heart belongs to God, not to your boss, not to a company, not to a title. Protect your integrity. Protect your spirit. If you live bitter, you didn't steward well. Next is E for evidence. Be a person of truth. Proverbs 12:22 says, "The Lord's delight in those who deal truthfully." Practically speaking, document your work, keep records, and communicate clearly. When it is time to leave, you don't leave with accusations. You leave with evidence. Truth protects you. Next is E for elevate. Don't stoop. If they scream, you whisper. If they gossip, you stay silent. If they manipulate, you stay consistent. Elevation is discipline under pressure. Anyone can react. Leaders respond. Last but not least is D for discern. James 1:5 says, if anyone lacks wisdom, ask and it will be given. There is nothing mystical about this. In fact, that is very practical. Pause, pray, seek counsel, ask, is this a season to endure or to grow? Or is my assignment here finished? Every workplace is a classroom, but you don't stay in third grade forever. When I finally exited that difficult environment, I didn't explode. I didn't send a long emotional email. I prepared, I documented, and I finished strong. I thanked them and I walked out with clarity. And here is what I learned. You don't win by escaping. You win by exiting correctly. Because how you leave one room determines how you enter the next one. This is the end of this series, but it might be the beginning of a decision for you. If this series on surviving a toxic work environment or boss gave you courage or clarity, or even just language for what you have been feeling, share this playlist with someone who needs it. Your support allows us to keep creating content like this freely and consistently. And subscribe, because next we're talking about another very important topic you don't want to miss. Now, your boss may control your title, but they do not control your destiny. As John Wooden once said, talent is God-given. Be humble. Fame is man-given. Be grateful. Conceit is self-given. Be careful. Remember this, you are a seed. When they try to bury you, they may actually be planting you. God lead with integrity. Walk when it is time. Win the right way. Click here for more videos on Survival Guide. I am Edem, and I will see you in the next video. God bless.